striker his whole career.
So if
And
you
he
look
tried
like
to
that
talk
watching him,
himself.
forget
Bruv, he
about
tried
it.
to talk himself into conversations with my man behind me. You know what I
Literally,
mean? And
literally. He
Lionel
genuinely
Messi and
believes
these
this that thing as well. Crazy.
guys. Yeah. That's what I mean. Even the Haaland thing, bro. Like, bruv, he's a world-class finisher, yeah? Stats will tell you that because he doesn't need many chances to score goals. But as a footballer, he leaves a lot to be desired, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's got so many holes in his game that,
And in his
bro, if
foot with
he's
that
not
first touch,
scoring, like, not only is he doing nothing, but he makes your team worse, blood, because his body language as well when he's not scoring is mad. You know what I mean? And you know, as a player, when you've got a man on the pitch, yeah, and their body language is off and they're not scoring,
you
bro,
might
you
get
don't
beaten
want
up in
them
the
there,
changing room still.
bruv. You don't want them there because you can see if he's not getting the ball, man's sulking. You can see he gets pissed off when he's not getting the ball, but then he's not making ball-orientated movements. Like, he's killing himself. And then if he doesn't score, you can see that man's pissed. Like, he's literally, all he wants to do is score goals, and he doesn't care how, where, why. And he's not thinking about the team at any point, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Another thing when they talk about distance covered and things like that. Actually, and it's very much an English thing because I remember Martial and Ozil, they used to get onto it. When you look at their stats metrics, they're actually running about a lot, but because they're not pressing aimlessly, flying into mad tackles, they're not working hard. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Martial had the best pressing stats in the team, bro, even higher than Rashford's. A man want to call him lazy because he doesn't chase a ball he knows he can't get.
And he's not smiling.
Yeah, that's it. But the thing is, yeah, intelligent pressures is what it's about. Even when you look at Lionel Messi, when he was at Barcelona, his pressures on the ball was actually high. But they would say, oh, yeah, he walks around for 90, well, he works around for 90% of the time. He does. But then he puts pressure on the ball and it's a 3-second pressure, bro. When you look at the way they press, Barca are looking to win the ball back 3 seconds, bro.
3 to 6 seconds, yeah. Amen.
Bro, that's it. For the rest of the time,
man are setting up traps and that. Like, it's only in England, just run about for the sake of running about, and it's amazing. Even Klopp realized I couldn't do that because when he first came in, they were doing that heavy intensity thing, and as the years went on, they started to defend a bit better, and they went on and won a couple of trophies via not being naive, and that's crazy. It's a European thing. You go and watch Barcelona. I've been to the Nou Camp when they had, I don't even say the fullback's name because he's moving mad than Jordi Alba and that, but they're literally up front by the goal. Like, hey, the video might get spliffed. I don't know, but it's very much, this country has a problem with common sense in football. If you're not just running around and letting someone know you're there and kicking someone to Timbuktu, this is why England will always be behind when it comes to
the mentality with every single sport, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they want the Terry Butcher bloodied head wrapped. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? In boxing, they want the Ricky Hatton who comes out, his face looks like a cheese grater after the fight. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But he won, his eyes dripping and all of that.
Yeah,
bro, they got no time for excellence in this country. It's all about the effort, bro. You know what I mean?
And it's all about as well.
Bruv, dead. You know, like that. Dead. All these dead ballers, all these stuck in merchants like Dennis Wise and all these man, yeah, these men are shit ballers, bro.
All the highlights just kicking people is dead.
But that's exactly what
I'm not gonna make it nowhere else.
Then nowhere else. You know, like that, but here. And then all these men don't do nothing. And this is exactly what it is. The mentality here, yeah, needs to be scrapped, bro. And this is why, yeah, when these men are rating players are not rating players, it's like, bro, look at what players bring to the team, bro. Like, there's no complete players in this time right now, but the best managers are the managers that know how to get the best out of the players they have. Even when I look at Pep right now, yeah, like, Pep's doing all sorts of Bandulu shit, playing Bernardo false left back and all these other things.
He just smokes crack and does wild things, man.
I'm like, you're taking the piss now, bro. Like, Pep, we already know you're a great coach, yeah, but now you're forcing it, bro. Like, you're forcing it.
I think he's just trying to see how difficult he can make it for himself to win this league, man. That's why he's got his two former gaffers kind of pressuring the league as well beyond him.
But it's crazy because he's like, you know what? Bernardo's good at carrying the ball, yeah, and he's left-footed and he's good at kind of breaking the line. So I'm going to play him as a false left back, like, out of possession.
This guy's a legend, fam.
False left back. How about you just play a real one, bro? Like, in defense is not the place where you do fake anything, blood. You know them ones. Man, do the false 9. Man can do a false winger. You do not do false left back.
You don't really want to play about with these things. It can get long.
You're taking a piss. And guess what happened against fucking Nottingham Forest, bro? It was that left-hand side that they conceded the goal down.
Exactly.
Crazy. You know them ones. If they don't win the league, it might just be that game.
No, I think they need to drop it. Well, he was fighting for the league. I thought City were top. I don't even pre the league table.
This guy, bruv. You know what I'm saying? Listen. I thought Man United were 8th in that. You know them ones. It
I
is
don't
what it
look
is.
at the league. I looked in August. Like we're fighting for top 4 in Europa League, and that's about it, man. Let's just see what we're doing.
Man. Know them ones there, but man don't know about no title race, blood. You know them ones.
In
That's
many
you and me
ways, just
both.
being better than you was yesterday is a title win in my book, man. I'm bringing
Bruv,
all the Wenger
it
tricks
gets
out,
like
man.
that. The man said it worked against Arsenal. It didn't work against Arsenal.
didn't,
He
'cause
changed it. He changed it
We
and
didn't
put
watch the
on.
game. You're just chatting.
He put on Ake, and that's when they upped it because they had defensive security, so they could go forward. That
Is it?
substitution literally changed the game.
Literally,
And then
literally.
he didn't learn. He went and done the same thing the next game. This guy's taking a piss.
That Pep's a madman. But if I was Pep, I'd be doing the same thing. No one could tell me nothing, man. No one could tell me nothing. Look what I've done to the game. No one can tell me a damn thing. If I want to play striker, centre back, I'm doing that, man.
That's what I'm saying. So
He's a
I'm not
madman,
having
though.
Pep's taking a piss, man. You know, like
He
that.
misses. He misses. I think he misses Zinchenko, potentially Sterling and Jesus, because you kind of see why they were needed in the squad.
Yeah, but the thing is, he let Zinchenko go, yeah, because obviously he probably knew Zinchenko wanted to play, and he knew that he couldn't guarantee him play time. But the problem is,
players no more.
Exactly, he's not gonna give you players no more.
Shagging
You know what I mean? And the thing is with the Gabriel Jesus thing, again, it's short-sightedness. You know what I mean? It's short-sightedness from Pep because it's like obviously he wanted to transition this system or whatever. He was probably thinking about accommodating Haaland, but bro, his logic is probably, you know what, Haaland's a goal scorer. I'm gonna put 2 creative wide players outside of him because Jesus, he's not really a creative wide player. He wants to play down the middle. He works hard, but he's not really a creator. Do you know what I mean? So that was probably his thing. Same with Sterling. Sterling will come in the back post, score tap-ins, but he kind of needs a foil. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't have that.
I think Alvarez is better for their system. Obviously, Haaland is a better player, but I think Alvarez is probably the one they should be doing the thing with. But it's Haaland, isn't it?
That's it. So stylistically, he tried to accommodate Haaland, and he lost crucial pieces in the previous system. So we can't even revert back to it.
Did you?
Do you know what I mean? Because he's got no pace out wide now.
Now he's having to just find a workaround, man.
And this is what it is. A man lost Zinchenko and Cancelo. And the thing is, again, that was a pride thing.
The
you know, like that.
One, I didn't get. It's
clearly Cancelo thing was a pride thing because like they fell out in it, and he done the
violating,
and he done the big man thing. Because the thing is, we gotta realize Cancelo, like I said, man need to check on his mental health, blood. He got benched by Dallo, then he comes back and gets benched at home as well, blood. Like, listen, his life's falling apart.
The mad thing happened to his yard as well.
You see what I'm saying?
All sorts, really.
You see what I mean? So my man's probably been under bare pressure, probably bare stressed in his personal life, and then on top of that, like you're not performing and you're getting dropped for club and country, bro. His head's gone. So he probably ran up on Pep on a mad thing. Like head was hot one day, and before you know it, there's no forgiveness because Pep.
Probably dashed the bib down way too hard and he's gone now. I mean, it's all right. He ended up at Bayern Munich, but boy.
Yeah, no, but Pep don't forgive. You know them ones. And
this
is just what it is. And
Pep
Cancelo just lost his head. But that's it. And Cancelo
Pep didn't want to use Ronaldinho. That should show you everything. That should show you everything. Pep don't care, blood.
100. His head loss thing, bro. And if you look at it as well, same thing happened with Sane. They fell out once, and that was it. Over.
You're gone. Yeah, you're gone. In a weird way, I admire that about Pep. That he's if you want to leave, you can leave. But it's not that thing, man. He does hold on to 1-2 players. It feels like every summer Bernardo Silva is saying, you know what, I'd want to go sunny Spain. It don't bang. I think they're gonna do a mad thing in the summer, man. They're gonna have.
They are. But that's what I'm trying to say. So when you look at them, when you look at Chelsea. And when you look at us, we're spending money, bro. Like you man are gonna have to spend money to stay in contention, bro. You're gonna have to. I don't know how your finances are set up. I don't really know.
But for us, we just need to spend correctly, man. Cause we're spending money and it's worked in the last 2 years. But when we spent the bag, Pepe and that didn't get too much return. I know it weren't spending, but Willian, you gave him a big deal. Didn't see too much. So just buy correct, man. Just build on what we have, man.
And that's just what it is, bro. So even Ferran, bro. Ferran came in and he dashed away, man, early, blood. He didn't even last.
And he was in decent form when they smoked him as well. Like,
bro,
he was actually doing right as a false 9.
Pep is a goon, bro. I rate it. That's where the success comes from. He's not afraid to pull the trigger.
But at the same time, he's ruthless, man.
Yeah, but then at the same time, it's kind of like, bro, sometimes you cut off your nose to spite your face, innit?
Hey, man, yeah. You can't always be on the gun-ho approach, the Scarface thing, or there's going to be no one left in the room rocking with you. Really.
100%. And that's what it is, people. So I don't know. It's a bit of a mad situation. What are you man saying anyway this weekend? What's your fixture? Hey,
Bournemouth at home Saturday 3 p.m. Not on TV again.
That's comfortable, bro. That's
Nah,
exactly
there's
what you
noisy
man
games
need.
in the Prem. I gotta do the political
No,
thing, man.
there isn't, but
They're
this is
fighting for their
exactly,
lives as well. Difficult game,
bruv.
man.
When you're under pressure, yeah, going into the business end of the season, these are the kind of games you want, though. Slightly.
Yeah. Now, realistically, we need to beat Bournemouth. Like for me, with Arsenal, for me to stop saying I can't see where the league table is, I need to see unbeaten until I think Liverpool on the 1st of April at Anfield. We've got these man, Fulham away. No disrespect to them, we should be winning that, but that's a difficult game. But
Sure.
we need to just be picking up 3 points. Obviously, we got the Europa coming into it as well, but it needs to be another unbeaten thing, and it starts again against Bournemouth at home, and we should be smoking them. Like I don't really want rotation, but if Arteta did want to flirt with giving some opportunities, I wouldn't take Zinchenko out for Tierney, but if he wanted to run Tierney, he wanted
No,
to give
I think he has to, bro. I think he has to, bro. Like when you even look at our manager, bro, like we're playing more games than you lot and we're rotating. I think you have to.
You
At this
kind of have
part of the
to.
season, you can't risk, either because people talk about injuries, bro. Burnout is a real thing. When players play too many games and then their form starts to drop, bruv, you're better off resting.
That's what happened with
them, bro.
Martinelli, and fans were drawing conclusions. He's back scoring. They love him again. It is what it is, really. It happened towards Saka towards the tail end of last season. My only problem is if you take out, like, logically, you could take out Ben White, Tomiyasu, bring in Tierney for Zinchenko, maybe Jorginho for Partey, and that one there's not really a thing. But then it sounds stupid, but you make it harder for us to score goals. As you know, Odegaard, Xhaka, Zinchenko, them man are on it, we score goals. And Bournemouth, they can't really defend, but they're going to rock up here. First 10 minutes, be difficult to break down and see where it takes them, really and truly. So I do think we need to rotate. There's no way around it. We got Europa League to come in, but it's the areas, man. It really is the areas. And as you know yourself, it's sometimes players do need saving for themselves because every player, every club wants to play every game unless you're going through a madness. So gonna have to start saving, man.
Yeah, and man said burnout isn't that big an issue if you're winning, bro.
That's stupid.
Here's the context, in what I said. I said players are not tired when they're winning. Mentally, they might not be tired, but physiologically, you cannot beat the body, bro. You know them ones, like
look how emotional these games of football
bro.
are,
Scientifically, it takes your body like 72 hours, at least to fully recover from a game of football. 90
I'm
minutes.
happy you said that. What did Mikel Arteta say before we played Everton? He kept mentioning 72 hours against Villa or Leicester, one of them. 72 hours. People don't see that
It
point.
takes that. And these guys have to train in the meantime. And even if it's a light training session and travel.
And might be carrying knocks already and at all different levels fitness-wise.
And then the mental side of it as well. When you're playing and you know you've got a niggle, but then you don't want to miss the game. Like no football players don't want to rest. They want to play every match, but physically their body don't want to do that, bruv. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them ones where you have to understand, burnout is real. When you see players' forms dropping sometimes, it's not because like they're in a bad run. Bruv, these men are tired, bro. You know, like that. They're tired.
It's just people expect footballers. There's not unless you're Messi and them man there. Obviously, I'm not saying you can't perform all season, but from August to May, it's extremely unrealistic to expect someone to be at the top of their game consistently. Like I'm sure 100%. You lot have had emotional games. We've had some emotional games. You know, Villa at home and away, Fulham at home. You know, Leicester actually are 2 games at Old Trafford and at the Emirates. These take a lot out of you. They take a lot out of you, and I think people do not really understand that sort of aspect of their game. But I can't expect them to because you're not privy to seeing these things.
Facts, and that's what I mean. It's like cool. The mental point, if you're a professional footballer and you're an actual professional, mentally you'll be able to handle it, bro. But the physiological side, you can't run from that, bro. There's no amount of fucking sports science. There's no amount of protein shakes.
There's no
any of that shit.
You need
There's nothing you can take. You need that rest, bro. That's what
the
you
longer
need.
You avoid it, the more mad it's gonna get.
Exactly, bro. And that's exactly what it is. So when players want to play that pass, blood, do you know what I mean? And you've got fucking 3 games in 6 days under your legs, blood. Man's overhitting it. You know them ones. Balls rolling under man's foot and all of that. Man's in bad. Man's tired.
The opposition's on crud as well. After you're tired, they're really trying.
And the opposition, playing 1 game a week.
Yeah,
you know, like
they
that.
pop up for it, galvanized. They go ahead in the first 5 minutes. It gets long. It really does get long.
And like you even saw it. When you see that Man United game yesterday, the way West Ham started.
You see what I'm saying? Probably could have been Cup, we're up for this. Let's go. Like
probably could have been 2-0 up, bro. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Balls flashing across the box, no one on the end of it. You know what I mean? We caught life a few times, and our quality got us through it. But you can see that a lot of the players, like that, we needed to change it, bro. Do you know what I mean? Because the legs will slowly just vanish from underneath
Even
people at the
Eddie
business
Nketiah,
end.
Arteta said he's got that. He's got that as well. He said he's carrying a little link and things like that. I know Eddie's not the cup of tea, but man are tired, bro. Eddie's played like 11 games on the spin when Jesus was out of it. Like naturally, you're going to look spent. The same's going to happen for Saka and has happened at times. The same happened for Martinelli. As some comments said there, that's where the managers have to know when to save a player from themselves, when to put them in, and all of these sort of things.
Yep.
And that shows your weight in gold as a gaffer throughout the season. As they say, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And it's only when we get to, you see it yourself, it's only when we get to this sort of period that people fully deep depth and things like that. Because you're a United fan, I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm probably sure at the start of the season, whoever was excelling for your club or my club, the player that wasn't playing is, we need to sell him. It's peak for him. He's not going to play this, that, and the third. It's crazy.
100%. And like man said, the physical, mental side is intertwined. Of course it is. You got to realize, that physically, when you can't do something, bro, you start getting in your own head, bro. Start psyching yourself out, and that's what happens when you're physically tired and then you make a few poor passes. All of a sudden, you're like, fuck. Then all of a sudden, you're rattled.
It's like these uni does. Some of you, man, do uni and that. I'm sure if you've had a good hour's sleep, you've had breakfast and you're doing an assignment, you're fit on it. If you're struggling, you've left it to the deadline, you've got 2 hours, you're tired because you ain't been sleeping, naturally you're going to start making mistakes and sitting there saying, I'm fucking tired, Naturally, these things happen. Sport is no different. But people don't see these things.
But they don't see these things. And that's why, like, at this business end of the season, it's the intangibles that you need to worry about, bro. Like,
exactly.
That's why you see these shock results. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because you see the smaller teams fighting for their fucking lives, like that will go and get the little upset. You've got the bigger teams, that are fighting on 3, 4, 2 fronts or whatever,
Bit of a privilege fight,
Yeah, that's it. Playing more games, but it means, that this team's charged up. They're well rested and they're fighting for their lives against a team, that's playing more games. Perhaps there might be a slight bit of complacency coming in as well.
That was us against City at home last season. They had 2 games in a week. We were galvanized to try and do a thing. We took the lead. It was exactly all the things you're saying. Exactly that was shown last season, and it happened. It probably happened to us as well. Everton are up for it with their new gaffer as well.
Bro, look at Man City against Nottingham Forest, bro. Haaland misses a chance from 5 yards out, like, bro, and then all of a sudden they concede right at the end. It's probably tactical fuckeries, also tired legs, bro. How they couldn't put the ball in the net again? Do you know what I mean? They had more than enough chances, and this is the problem. So, like, in football, people look at the very, very obvious things, but like there's so many intangible things.
Can't see further than their nose, essentially.
That's it. So, like, that's why there is literally no formalities really in football, because there's loads of different things that could be happening under the surface that could manipulate the final result. So, like, literally at this point of the season, you have to rotate players, bro, because as much as man say, just play your best 11 every week, bro, when you're playing 3 games in a week, sometimes I can't do that.
You can't, man. You're asking a lot of players, and then you also, it might be catch-22 because 50th minute now, man are pulling up with a hamstring knock. And if he's out for 2 weeks and you got 2 must-win games, you've cut your nose. You cut your nose to spite your face. You made it more difficult for yourselves. So I don't envy managers, man. They man have so much to consider.
That's what I'm saying, but is the Klopp thing, bro. And the thing is, if you want to play like that, you got to have depth. You have to have.
And make sure you keep getting them pills in, man.
100%, like, and that's what it is, and that's why. And the thing is, not only that did he not have the depth, but also his recruitment wasn't good, bro. You know what I'm saying? His recruitment wasn't good. And that's it. And now he needs to rebuild a whole team, bro. Like, he arguably needs 11 men.
Did you know definitely needs a number of midfield bodies. Midfield, that area. To be fair, all the top 6 need midfielders, but different adjustments,
different levels. Yeah,
they're
bro. Like,
and
they're playing Milner, Henderson, Oxlade, bro. Like, they
and that young who's all right, but as you saw against Madrid,
he's not ready.
He's not ready. He's not ready,
bro. Like, he has ran that club into the floor, bro. That squad needs a whole new.
Origi and Mane knew what time it was.
Yep. It needs a full replacement of that squad, bro. Do you know what I mean? And they don't have the money. And also they don't have the ambition as owners, to rebuild the whole squad. And even if they did, it's gonna take years. Like, they can't.
Same way it took time to build that team. It can't just happen overnight.
It will take him 3 years to rebuild Liverpool back to where he got them at their peak. If he lasts 3 years, I don't think he'll be there for 3 years.
He's coming out with the fighting talk and things, but you never know, man. Physically, it takes a lot, man.
And that's what it is. So, like, he's ran that team into the floor. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of Liverpool fans are saying, "Oh yeah, but," and it's just like, listen, Like, if it was a Real Madrid or something like that, because Liverpool fans like to tell us about their history, how many European Cups they've won, and how big a club they are. If that's the case, then why is the manager untouchable, blood? If you're such a big club, because
Because even Carlo's getting criticism, which is a
bro,
madness. But
bruv, you see what I'm saying? Man are
that'd be
criticizing
crazy.
Ancelotti, you know. You know what
Their
I'm
players
saying?
as well. How much time did they run out players? Even players that are now playing well, they used to draw out Vinicius, and now obviously he's doing the business. They're onto you.
This is what I'm saying. When they were winning, it wasn't the owners, and now their shit is the owners. I said the same thing about Man United. When everyone was saying, "Oh, Rants, Glazers out, Glazers out," I said, "Listen, I don't want these pussios here, but we should still be winning trophies with them. We've spent 500 million,
And
you
to
know,
a
like
degree, that's
that,
how I feel about the Cronkies, man, because we've
you know,
still
like
spent
that."
peas.
And when I said that, they're like, "Oh no, but the Glazers." I said, "Listen, the Glazers ain't the reason why we're not winning trophies, blood. Because what we got Ten Hag, now we're winning trophies. Do you know what I mean? And we got same owners, bro. The reason why we weren't winning trophies because we had shit managers. Do you know what I'm saying? Shit managers and shit players, bruv. And when we lost the final to Villarreal, it wasn't the Glazers why we lost, bro.
Yeah, players are the ones on the pitch, bro. Forget all the managers and all of that. Do you want to add a European trophy to your cabinet so you can look back when you retire or not? And they didn't adhere to the standards, man.
This is what I'm trying to say, bro. A man said 1.2 bill spent since Ferguson left. Exactly.
So
And the
all
man
the
are gonna
English
turn
clubs
around.
spent peas, man. Some
And the
better
man
than
are gonna
others.
turn around and say the Glazers don't spend money. The biggest lie. They don't spend their own money, no, but they do spend money. You know, like that. It's just that we spent money on a waste of space after
Everyone
waste of
turns
space.
into accountants and that these days, man.
That's what I mean. Them man bust open the wallet and spent 85 million on Harry Maguire, the worst bit of money spent in football history. You know, like that, but they did it. You know, like that. So this myth that they don't spend money, bro, and you can't win titles with the Glazers is bullshit. Got a good manager in, won the title straight away, and they backed the manager in the summer.
Literally.
We paid over the odds for Anthony because the manager really wanted him. We paid over the odds for Lissandro because both them players we could have got cheaper had we pulled the trigger earlier. Do you know what I'm saying? But he went and got him who he wanted, and we won a trophy immediately, bro. So, you know what I mean? No one's gonna say, "Oh yeah, thank the Glazers" when we won the trophy. You know what I mean? But when we're and man want to talk about Glazers, bruv, listen.
You can
They
criticize the ambition, but like
exactly.
there's never just one person to necessarily blame, because as much as
But
it's
this is the
about the
thing.
owners, they're not the ones managing or buying players
But this
necessarily
is
per se.
exactly it, bro. Like you can criticize the managers that got brought in. You can criticize the people making the footballing decisions, but don't turn around and say, yeah, that like they try and conflate, yeah, that argument with the argument of taking money out the club, bro. Like it's their club. They could do whatever they
Well,
want with it.
David Dean used to take money out of Arsenal. He just knew how to do this thing. So make your cash, my guy.
Bro, but
Like,
this is my thing, yeah. Like, I don't like the fact that they take money out the club and all these other
of
things.
course
But
not.
bro, again, I don't care, bro, because I don't own the club. I've never owned the club. They own it. So I can't tell them how to run it. Just make sure that the bread's there when we need the bread.
Yeah, just make sure you're doing the right things. You can do what you want, like
That's
really
it.
within
Make
reason.
sure the bread's there. Like every manager they've brought in has been backed with money. Factually. Like it's not whether it's their money or the club's, it doesn't matter.
They've spent
The
peas.
point is we're spending bread. Every single manager gets ballers and they get money, bro. You know, like that. It is what it is. And Jose won a trophy. Van Gaal won a trophy. Moyes wasn't there long enough. Solskjaer didn't win a trophy, but he was in a cup final and,
He
and
done the
fucked
second. He
it.
finished second, false position,
And
but he
Ten
finished
Hag
second.
has won a trophy as well. So literally, out of all the managers that have been in under the Glazers, and Ferguson was there under the Glazers, all of them have won trophies, really, apart from Ollie and fucking Moyes. And they're not meant to win trophies because they're shit managers. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when I break it down like that, yeah, like you can't argue with me. Like you can dislike how they're treating the club and what they've done financially. I
Exactly.
don't like that. Even Moyes got a community shield, but the
Sure.
point is, yeah.
Got
So,
to change
bro,
that
as
to
much
English
as
Super Cup like I do for Arteta. Quickly.
you know what I'm saying. So, like, bro, as much as I don't like the Glazers, I don't like how they're treating the club. I don't like all these things. There's a lot I don't like, but I can't blame them for us losing to Villarreal in the final because it wasn't them why we lost, because we managed to get there all right.
Yeah.
You know, like that. And then we fucking lost because we weren't good enough. Do you know what I mean? I can't be a hypocrite, yeah, and turn around and say, oh, yeah, we didn't win trophies. You can't win trophies under the Glazers. That is the narrative that was going around.
That don't make sense because it's been
You
done.
can't win trophies. But then we've seen Jose win trophies, Van Gaal win trophies. We got to a cup final with Oli and bottled it, yeah? So imagine if Oli wins that because we win the penalty shootout, and then Ten Hag wins that, then that means all of the managers have won trophies. Apart from Moyes, and even technically Moyes won something as well. So all of a
Literally.
sudden the argument goes out, one kick of a penalty, and all of a sudden the argument's redundant.
This is it. This is it.
Do you know what I mean? It's not that you can't win trophies. They would have said you can't win trophies under
And there's just
FSG because they're
multiple
worse.
layers. There's just
FSG are
multiple
worse
layers
than
to
the
this thing, man.
Glazers, bro. They spend less than the Glazers, and Liverpool got a Champions League, and they got a league title. Why? Because they got the right man.
And tasted a couple finals as well and held
Bro,
else.
tasted hella finals and lost.
So you
That
can't
doesn't
really
make
just get at them.
FFG are not better owners than our owners. They're shit as well. You know, like that. So it's kind of like these guys' arguments are redundant, and that's why people that they don't have the intellect, and then they're saying, "Oh yeah, but Rants, I'm not defending the Glazers. I'm saying you can't use them as an excuse when you lose."
There's just multiple layers. It's just not
you know
the
what I mean?
honest truth. If you sit there and just say it's just even with Stan Kroenke, obviously now you're kind of doing what we want. I'll never be really you lot's friends, but you put people in place and we're getting a trick out of it with Arteta, and we still won trophies as well. Like obviously we want to go for league titles and things, but the last 2 years there's been money to spend. Anyone we've brought in or not brought in, because it's always documented when Edu doesn't bring in his key targets. That's been on them, really. Anything in the last 2 years, really, that we've achieved or not achieved from a sporting front, rightly or wrongly, praise and criticism goes to those on the technical front. You can't always just look at the owners. You can criticize them. You can, some people go into their personal lives, but there's multiple layers. It's a massive. These clubs are massive. It's not just one facet as to why people are underachieving. In most cases, anyways, it's mad.
That's it. So that's what I mean. People love excuses. You know what I'm saying? People love excuses. You can't blame man when we lose, yeah, like they're playing, but then not praise them when we win. That's not how it works. Like that. And too many people are just unbalanced.
This is it. You blame the owners for how the club's running because they're the ones that set the mentality. They're the ones that employ people. They're the ones that have to try and indirectly get the best scouts and all of these things, or employ the best people to put the best structure. But there's multiple layers. If you put the right people in place and they're failing, then yeah, it's always the owner's fault, like it should be as a company boss. But it's the individuals as well.
Yep,
it's crazy.
100%, and that's exactly what it is. So that's what people gotta understand. You have to be consistent, bro. You can't blame.
There it is.
Blame your owners.
You have to be objective and consistent, like you said. Like
that's it. But there you go. That's it. That's it, bro. If you're saying Glazers out, say it for the right reasons. I'm saying get these pussios out because they haven't structured the club the right way. Like that.
And that's fair.
That's it. I'm not saying they don't spend money because that's a lie. Them ones, they'll show man sheet. They'll say, all right, 1.2 billion since Sir Alex Ferguson has left invested in the team. So you can't lie and say, because we haven't sold no one for no money. So
this is it. It's been a while since Ronaldo and them, man.
Ronaldo's the only person we ever got peas for. So we can't turn around. We didn't do the Liverpool thing. 100 and something million for Coutinho, Suarez money. Like all these.
We ain't done that either.
We ain't done that. We've been putting in money and not selling no one. We've got one of the biggest squads in the league for no reason.
At least twice you broke the British transfer record for Pogba and Maguire as well. Like
there you go. So man can't turn around and say we're not spending no money. So we're spending the wrong money. It's because you haven't set the club up properly to thrive. But that's not to say that managers are not getting money and they're not getting players.
Exactly.
Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what it is, bro. We let 10 man go on bro. We just let a man leave, bro, for no money. Do you know what I mean? We've never got money for players. Do you know what I mean? We spent money on Memphis Depay, then we let him go for peanuts. Let Blind go for peanuts. All these men are leaving for less than 10 million, bro. Like Man United don't get money for players, bro.
No real cake to it, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Dan James is literally the only player that we made a profit on that I can remember in the longest time.
And there you have it, like there you have it.
But we lost Pogba free twice.
Yeah, actually, yeah. See?
Yeah. So that's what I mean. So it's bullshit. Do you know what I mean? It's complete bullshit. Like literally Lukaku, bruv, we spent 90 million on Lukaku. So, and I don't believe we got 90 million for him. Do you know what I mean? So I don't really know. Because remember, we gave Everton bread, blood, and we gave them Rooney as well. We gave them Rooney and money.
About Rooney.
We gave him Rooney and money, Bruv, listen, don't sleep. You know what I was saying? We're We're terrible when it comes to getting rid of players.
And we need to do better now, because as much as I think we've done well flushing out players, with Edu now, like, it's not every day a contract termination thing. Can we get fees? Can we get decent fees for players? Because like you said, if we ain't got the money to go toe to toe with clubs to spend, especially where Haaland's concerned, I'm not saying you're going to get a significant sum for Balogun, but he's half decent. You know, other clubs might be able to just put him in the shop window, get some money, reinvest that, and we keep it moving.
Yep, 100%, and that's just what it is. You know,
Is
like
what
that.
it is, bro.
So that's it, bruv. Look at all these men that we lost, bruv. Look at that. 3 players:
Oh,
Herrera, Pogba, Blin,
one of the worst swap
Smalling,
deals we've ever had
Matter.
between both
That's
our
it.
clubs. That was horrible.
Lingard, Sanchez. Oh yeah, we lost Alexis for free as well.
That
You
was
see what
horrible.
I'm trying to say, bro? Like, we lose all these men for free, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, you can blame the Glazers for not signing the correct people, but again, it's deeper than that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's deeper than that. It's not that they didn't sign up, because they don't sign people. They didn't bring in football people to make those decisions. That's what I can blame them for. Do you know what I mean? But I'm not going to blame them, and I'm not going to lie and say they don't spend money, because that's what the argument's been this whole time. But then when you look, we spent more money than anyone else. So get your argument straight.
This is it.
You know them
for no reason, fam.
Get them straight. And it's the same with Arsenal. Arsenal have spent money, bro. It's not that they haven't spent, it's just that they haven't spent well.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Historically, it's
saying?
only in the last 2 years or so that, all right, cool, the money's making, not everything's been perfect, but it's making sense now.
Yeah.
Previously, it hasn't been that.
Well, there you go. And they're saying the people they've employed let them down. Yes, but the people they've employed were not the right people, because they're not footballing people.
Yeah, that's
So
that's where you draw them out.
So I hate them for that. Do you know what I mean? I hate them for the simple fact that they're not footballing people, and they haven't employed footballing people. You know, like that. And because of that, it's a trickle down effect.
There you
That's
have
why, because it's not the lack of money spent. Because when you look at Christian Eriksen, got him for free. When you look at Malacia, look at 12 million thing. Like we've had, bruv, we got Sabitzer on loan.
Correctly, man.
Do you know what I mean? We got Weghorst on loan. We didn't pay no big money for these players, and these players have helped us win a trophy. Do you know what I mean? So it's not about spending loads of money. It's about doing the right business.
That's it.
That's all it's about.
And especially in today's day and age, because like you kind of said, where, you know, you had to overpay for Anthony and Lissandro. Arsenal have been there. I don't know all the variables, but when you kind of differ, and without knowing all the variables, when you kind of differ and sit on your hands, bro, you don't get these guys, or you pay more than you want. Getting things done early, man, being proactive in today's day and age will save you.
That's what I'm saying. 100%. And that's what it is. A man said United are spending different to Arsenal.
The premise is the same. Obviously,
the premise is the same. You're right. But even the managers come in and brought in a salary cap. You know them, man. So it's one of them things where, like, man's come in and done the 200 grand salary cap. The manager's not playing games. He understands the culture of the club needs to change, because we're just throwing money away.
Exactly.
That's just all it is. And again, you can blame the owners, yeah, for not knowing what the fuck they're doing. But again, you can't blame them for not spending money, because they're paying man stupid bread, like.
Exactly. And
do you know what I'm saying?
In football, like life, sometimes things just not defending anyone, but things go wrong. You know, all the scouting that goes into a player, he might just be shit. A manager might be the right guy. He might just be shit. Like the technical director, he might just be shit. Even some of the most revered sporting directors in the world that some of us claim we know and things, there's probably times where they've been failures or done things negatively. So everything essentially is just a calculated risk that is not foolproof.
100.
Some do better than others, clearly, but yeah, man.
That's what it is, people. So, I mean, like I say, people just need to be consistent with their arguments, bro.
Consistent.
Like man can't blame man when we're losing and then not mention man when we're winning. You know, like
exactly.
that. Exactly. So, like, we've spent, like, man spent bread in this win. I think Cass, Anthony, Lissandro, these man cost bread altogether. That well over 200 million.
Pelisteri, you, Diallo, you as well. It all adds up to the thing as well.
Like, unless you cost money, fucking Ahmad, we spent 40-something million on. Do you know what I mean? And Garnacho costs bread as well, bro. Like, these men are not free, blood. Do you know what I mean? So we're spending money, bro. We're just not doing it in a way that we should do. Do you know what I mean? So blame them for that, innit? But we can't pretend that we're operating on rations here, blood, because we're not.
Exactly.
Like that.
Stop doing
Man
the
are
poor.
moving
Everyone
like
needs to stop doing the poor thing. Everyone's got peas in this English Premier League. Adjusted, but everyone's got peas. That's why we're all getting
100%.
fleeced
Man
abroad.
are going on like we're spending like Spurs and that. Like we're not doing
This
that.
is it. And even them, they found 60 million for Richarlison. That's it. Oh, you get on Levy and that, bro. Like even them, boy, spent
That's
20 odd
it.
for Spence. What happened there? So, you know, the salary Perisic is on can't be cheap. Boy, you can get on
Fact.
to Levy, but how far does this argument go per se, really?
Facts.
Without
That
looking
your
inward.
manager's not getting the best out of the players he has. So you can blame your
Exactly.
owners, but do you know what I mean? You've got Ndombele on loan. You've got what's that? Lo Celso on loan, and there's another brother they got on loan, bro. Like that would improve
Brian
their
Gill and
current
all them
team.
kind of brothers
Yeah,
there.
that would
Like,
improve their current team, but Conte got rid of them.
literally, they didn't tell not what they spent 30, 40 on Davis and Sanchez. You have to hold that. Like, you just have to hold these things.
That's it. And then they're buying man, and the manager's not playing them, bro. You could argue that the manager is more of a hindrance than the fucking owners.
Conte is the only gaffer I keep seeing saying, "Oh, he hasn't got his players, but keeps bringing in new players." It's amazing, man. It's amazing to me. It's actually amazing from Conte, and I actually somewhat believe that point. But when you look at it and the narratives, it don't really make much sense. It's absolutely crazy.
That's what I'm trying to say. And Spencer's on loan as well, and they just bought him. You see what I
Yeah.
mean? Dan Juma's there, not playing him. You know what I mean? There's only so much you can blame the owners. They've given him a decent player in Dan Juma, blood. You know, like that. I would
Brought
have
in the
taken him at
Porro
Man
brother as
United to
well.
be a squad player.
This is it.
They're doing all this and still losing to Sheffield United, but then
Got to bring in
Conte is the
Kulusevski
victim.
and Romero, his Italian league brothers. Hey, only goes so far for Conte and anyone really. It's not even just getting that Spurs thing. Bentancur as well, like someone said there, only goes so far, man.
That's what I mean, but he's the victim. Some joke thing.
This is it. Always. Absolutely silly.
Fucking foolishness. But yeah, people, big up Wavy Show. Big up
Come
the
on.
Ludo for coming through. You already know what it is. What's the rest of your day looking like?
I'm gonna record a quick video just after we're finished, but 3:30, I'm gonna be live across YouTube.